YouTube, welcome to Beauty in the Empty Nest. Today I have a new foundation, and it's not only new to me, it's very new out on the market, and it is from, as you probably already know by clicking on this video, it's from Makeup Forever, and it is their new HD foundation, which they now have titled Makeup Forever Ultra HD. So it used to just be the HD, which I actually had that foundation and did really like it. It never became an absolute favorite, but I really liked it, and matter of fact I drained it almost to the bottom of the, where you're kind of having to scrape down the edges of the glass to be able to get the foundation. So when this came out and I was starting to get lower on some of my other foundations, I said, well, let's try it. So I originally got just a very small sample from it without actually buying it, and I used it, and well, I won't give it away. But the idea was then I liked it well enough that I wanted to give it a real full trial, and I went out and bought the full-size bottle of it. So it's very similar looking to the previous Ultra HD, or sorry, the previous Makeup Forever HD foundation. Same kind of glass tube, the same kind of cap, except I have to say my cap on my previous one popped off almost initially and then got lost and I never found it again. This one really worked to get off, so good and bad with that, but it has the same kind of little pump that the other one did as well too. So if you like pumps on your foundations, this one is for you as well too. So how is this foundation? First of all, they describe it as being invisible, and there's supposed to be some components in there, and I won't get into any of the scientific stuff because I don't understand it all myself. I'd have to ask my chemistry based son who knows all about that stuff. But the idea is it's supposed to be even more like skin, blend in, be invisible on your skin, but provide a medium coverage. So this is not supposed to be purported to be a full coverage foundation. This is just supposed to be a medium coverage foundation, but the idea is that it's supposed to be so traceless on your skin that you just see beautiful skin come through. Doesn't that sound like what we always all want anyway? So anyway, I thought I really did want to give this a good try. So I'm going to have video as well showing me applying it. So you'll be able to see that process there. I'm either going to put it alongside now, or I'll have it as a second clip. We'll see on the length of this whole review. I hate to get them way too long, but I want to give you as much information as possible too. So anyway, the one other thing that's a little different, if you previously were using the HD foundation, your color code is really what it was, has changed. So I used to be Y125, I think it was, and no, I used to be just 125, and now it's transitioned to Y315. However, no trouble at all. It's all over the box. You can easily find what your new color is. They also have a chart on all the websites that are selling this foundation. But just know that your color number will not be the same. It will be something a little different. So again, a little bit of background before I go in describing a little more of the foundation as far as for me and my skin, so that you can see whether that matches you, or you can put your desire to try this foundation in that context too, and how it worked for me. My skin type, I always had oily skin, acne prone skin before. It has become more dry now. I kind of say artificially dry because I'm using Retin-A pretty much every other day. So that did kind of all of a sudden I had to go and buy all new products, skincare and everything, because my skin got so dry when I first started using it. So you know, those first month or two. Now my skin is back to where I actually say it's more a combination, kind of normal skin, although I do sometimes get some dry patches. I use my Retin-A every other day. I do have scarring, hyperpigmentation on right here. I have acne. I even have a breakout right now, right here. So I still get acne. Sometimes ugly acne, although it's gotten much better. I do scar easily too. So within the context of that, I wanted to share that I do not have perfect skin. I need coverage. However, I don't always like full coverage that ends up looking kind of like a mask. I don't mind if some of my stuff shows through. I don't always like the hyperpigmentation looking dirty and muddy, and sometimes that's hard to avoid, but I don't mind if I have a little bit of some redness poking through here or there. I like more of a natural good look to your skin. I also tend to like more of a matte finish on my foundations than a very glowy thing, which I think goes back to the fact of so many years of having oily skin. So I tend to be either a satiny to very light light glow to being a matte. And again, I like how you can kind of play around with those. You have a more oily foundation, you have to make sure that you use the right kind of primer and everything else to help compensate for that. So I tend to like more of the middle of the road. So that being said, how did this foundation perform? Well, I kind of gave you a little bit of a idea of the fact that I liked it well enough after trying those little Sephora plastic samples. After trying that, to go for the full thing, to really give it a good try and test period for a good week and a half or so. I really like it. I'm wearing it right now. The color I think works quite well. The coverage is very, very nice. I mean, and you'll see in the video, I don't even apply any concealer, and I have some so it was this morning that I was applying it, and this is also now about 6 hours after I applied my makeup this morning, and I have not touched it up at all. I've reapplied my lipstick, yeah, because that got kind of crumbly and stuff, so I had to reapply lipstick, but I have not touched up my makeup otherwise at all. This is it. When I've been testing it out, today I do have a primer underneath. I have tested it with and without a primer. I still have always gone back to liking a primer a little bit more than not. And not so much for the application, but sometimes it just seems like it lasts just a little bit longer without breaking up. Although I have not noticed that this foundation breaks up a lot over time, which is really great, because some other ones I've been trying, the Too Faced Born This Way, breaks up on me. A few others that I can't really wear for a long time. Some of the NARS ones, they just break up on me. So I like that. I think the primer helps with that. The one that I've been using, and I've been playing around with different ones, the one that I kind of keep going back to, and again, I still have a sample of it that I'm kind of playing around with because I'm trying to decide what primer I need to get next. You know that thing, you're finishing up the one you have. I have the Benefit Professional one. The one that I've been using the most underneath it is the Too Faced, the Hangover RX one. Really, I've been very happy with it. So anyway, today that's what I have underneath here. However, I've tried half of my face with a primer, half without, different primers. I haven't found one that is a magic with this, but I also don't know whether everyone would need a primer or not. Okay, so that being said, coverage, like I said, I have no concealer on right now. This is just one kind of application. My favorite way of applying it, I used to be pure beauty blender, that's all I wanted. I have now really gone back to my brushes, and my favorite one lately has been this Morphe, and it's the M439. So instead of my flat top kabuki I've kind of put away, I haven't gone back to this one. This one's really nice because it's got a lot of kind of a rounded edge here, and something about the density of the brushes, it really blends things nicely, because I've also been very much into that, as opposed to padding on things, is really trying to blend. And then if I need a little more coverage, padding on, you'll see that in the makeup application too. So my way that I've really preferred applying this is with my brush. I also have tried the Real Techniques, the buffing brush. I still keep going back to my Morphe for my preference. Beauty Blender works really well as well too. So again, it's up to you what you're most comfortable, what you like doing in the morning, and I still go back and forth. I like to use my Beauty Blender now for applying some of my powder. So you can see that. I'm giving you all this stuff for the video to come up. So anyway, nice coverage, even the first time through. It is buildable. You'll see me stipple a couple places there. It dries to a nice feeling. It's not like a tacky kind of feeling when it dries. You probably don't even have to apply a powder. I always do. My favorite is the Laura Mercier, the translucent setting powder. I also like to use, like if I'm throughout the day, if I have to blot, which I have not had to yet, is the Prep and Prime MAC powder. It comes in a little compact. It's just clear. There's no color with it. I really like that one also, if needed. Again, I have not found I've needed it. But the finish on this is, just like they said, natural. I can't say it's matte because it's not that kind of stark, almost dry look. It's not that way at all. I can't say it's satiny because I really don't see that little tiny glisten at all. It's definitely not glowing. So I think, to me, that's like the best of all worlds, because you can make it go into the continuum then by whether or not you apply powder, whether you apply any kind of other kind of glowing illumination kind of things to make it look a little more dewy. So beautiful. I love that part. So how does it feel? I'm a real stickler for that. I do not like to feel my makeup. Right now, if you asked me, I cannot feel it. I cannot feel the makeup on my face right now, which is exactly the way I want it. So again, really lightweight, like just like they claim. I mean, I don't always give in to all the claims that they make about a product, but so far, everything that they've said about this has worked for me. How does it last over the day? Again, here's 6 hours later without a touch-up. Again, I did have primer. I did put some loose setting powder on here, but this is 6 hours later, and I'll get up close and personal. But you can see it's not breaking up at all, and it's got some nice coverage. So again, I really like jumping to the coverage. I really like this layer of coverage. It's enough that I feel like my skin looks even, but it's not too much that I feel like it's a mask and you lose some of that, some of the dimensions. I think that when you get too much of a full coverage, like I cannot use the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which I know people love. When I wear it, it just looks so too uniform that then you look down my skin here and you see that I have, again, dimension and textures here, and yet my face is just all one color. Plus on top of that, I don't like that. I can feel that makeup, and that's one that I can't stand that. So I like that this still gives you that, it looks like skin. I mean, how much better can we get as far as that? So again, really happy. So how is the texture? Again, shake it up. I know, I should sing some song, but you do not want me to sing. This is a little bit more runny. Let's see, I'm gonna right here. I don't want to waste it, but I want to give you enough that you can see. Okay? This is not like one of those moussey, thick foundations. It is, you see, I was dripping down there. Blends in really nicely. Yeah, I always think this is fun to watch because, you know, just like putting a moisturizer on your skin, you can't really see, you can't really kind of get the full thing, but you see how easily that blended out there. But it is more liquidy based than more of a gel or mousse type base. So again, keep that in mind. That also sometimes impacts what kind of a tool you like to use when you're applying the foundation. So again, I love the pump. I like the fact that the cap stays on. It's just a little bit much there. The packaging is just as before. I think my only thing about a package like this is that when you go to travel, you're gonna have to pump out into a small another container if you don't want to bring the whole glass jar. And I travel a lot, so at different times of the year. So sometimes this takes up, you know, if I try not to check bags, so this is going to have to go into that, you know, quart-size plastic container, and depending on what else I'm bringing, sometimes this is too much. So this you would have to pump out, and I'm still learning how much to use too, so it would be a little bit tough for me to say I'm going away for 5 days, how much do I need to bring with me? So anyway, on to my actual ratings of this. Is this going to get to my Holy Grail status? I'm not going to put it there yet, but I think this is going to be a real contender to be up there and maybe knock another one out of place. I don't know. Maybe the only downside, there's no SPF, but again, that's not, for sometimes that's a good and a bad thing. Anyway, I've really gotten into layering more SPF anyway, so I don't have to rely on it being in my foundation as well too. This way you also can get your whole neck area. So my moisturizer tends to have that. Sometimes I put other SPF depending on where I'm going to be, what time of the year, and all those things. So again, is this going to make Holy Grail? I'm thinking it might. I really am. I'm really, really happy with it. And I was not this happy with the other version. So maybe this ultra part has really come so far. All those chemical things, and even if they're not, all those extra things that they added to it might be really doing a really good thing. So my fondness for the product, you are not going to be surprised. As of today, I'm giving it a 5. I really, really like this. I'm almost reaching for this more than my Laura Mercier ones. I know. Than the It Cosmetics cream, which I actually haven't reached for in a couple of weeks now because I've been testing out some other things, but my matte velvet, even my MAC. This might become one of my absolute favorite foundations. I feel like I shouldn't be saying that yet because I don't know for sure, so keep checking back. But right now it is at a 5. For mature skin, a 5. It's not like clumping any place. It's doing what it should do without settling where it shouldn't or where it wouldn't want it to. It's just mixing so well with my type of skin, and it's living up to exactly what I would want. So again, for mature skin, I see no downfalls. It works really well. A 5. Run out to get this. If your situation, your skin, your needs align with what I've just described, I would say yes. I mean, maybe go get a sample first, because I always like to do that anyway, because I hate having something and then a full product and then having to return it. Sometimes I'll buy the full product and get a sample at the same time and not open the full product until I have a chance to see whether I like it. That way when I return it, I can say I did not open it. I don't know what they do as far as they trust you or not, but the idea is I like to have a sample first of almost anything. So I would say run out and get the sample, okay? And give it a good try and see if it works for you. But right now I'm giving it a 5 because I think it's going to be really, really wonderful for anyone who has similar needs to mine. Again, if you have very oily skin, you have very dry skin, I don't know how to mix that in there except to say I have some dry patches and I have some oily patches and I see no negative effects on it. So a 5. Is this amazing? Is this wonderful? Check back to see if this is going to make it to my favorites, my August favorites too. Maybe by then, it's what, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks from now? Not even that, wow. It's going so fast. My son goes back to college in a few days. And my daughter goes back to high school. Okay, anyway, I have a feeling it might make it there. So anyway, what more can I say? I am so excited about this product. So I keep showing it up here and everything. Obviously, if I didn't like it, I'd be holding it down in my lap, right? So anyway, keep updated with what I think about it. Right now, this is fabulous. Go get a sample and see if it works for you is all I can say. Run out and get the sample and see if it works for you. All of you. So please leave me comments. Let me know. Do you like this product too? Have you found things? Do you have questions about it? Let me know. So in the meantime, also, please subscribe. That way we can keep in touch. And you know the minute I put a new video up, and I just feel like then we're building a nice family too. Isn't that nice? And then also please give me a thumbs up, because that gives me the encouragement and it just keeps me knowing I'm going on the right charts. I'm going on the right track. It's real world, right? Okay, well, I hope that you have really enjoyed this, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.